Hi, Matt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Titan chain snow tire chains with VBar links on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz. And these are going to be on our front axle as per the manual. If your manual says something else, then go with that. And they're going to be on our 245 60 R18 tire size. Now something I would like to point out is since these are going to be larger links, they're going to sit very close to a wheel well. We're going to have just a finger length between our chains and our suspension back here, so that is going to be extremely close. These are going to be some heavy duty chains that kind of help you traverse any more extreme environments. So if you find yourself going through maybe more deeper snow, thicker ice, or very muddy areas, these are going to be great. What makes them great for that is we're going to have these chains, and they're going to be constructed from a steel alloy, so they're going to be less likely to rust. They're also going to have this twist to the links and these V-bars attached to the top, and that combination is what's going to give its ability to really drive through snow and ice. We're also going to have this ladder pattern to our chains, and what that's going to help do is kind of help you drive forward and backwards, kind of keeping you in a line. And at the bottom here, we're going to have this lever that tightens everything down. All you have to do is stick a link through this and hook it onto this back link. It just makes for a very easy installation. It's also going to come in this canvas bag. It's going to come with 2 to a set. Something about the bag is it'll probably last you 1 season, maybe 2 seasons, but I don't think it'll last you too much longer after that, especially if you're taking it out in the snow, it's getting wet, you have these big bulky chains in there kind of tearing it up some. So if you're worried about this not lasting, then I'd recommend upgrading to maybe like a tote. That's just going to help keep your chains out of the environments and a little bit more organized and something that's more sturdy. Overall, if you are looking for something that's going to really dig through snow and ice, it's going to be a great choice for you. With this twist links and V-bars at the top of them, it's really going to give you that advantage. Now, if you're looking for something that might be a little bit more simple to install, a little bit easier to tighten, you can get these with cams just as a different set. But if you don't need the cams or you're too worried about them loosening up as you drive, then I think these will do you great. We did have a couple spots in the install that's a little bit difficult to reach, but if you're curious about how we kind of handled that, then just stick around and we'll show you how. The first thing you're going to want to do is kind of lay out your chains, make sure everything looks good and untangled, and we also want to check our links to make sure they're not damaged at all. After that, we want to make sure everything's in the right orientation, so we want to ensure that these links on the end here, the hooks are going to be facing away from our tire, and this flat part of the hook is going to be facing towards the tire. So we're just going to place it on the ground like this. And the same thing for these links here. We want to make sure these more pointy bits are pointing up away from the tire so they don't damage it at all. And finally, I like to make sure this hook at the very end is kind of on my left hand side, just kind of help me orientate it a little bit better and make sure it's facing me rather than the inside of the tire. To get our chain on our tire, all I'm going to do is kind of find the center of the chain and just pick it up like so and drape it over the top of our tire. Make sure everything's kind of centered on our tire, so we don't want these chains to be on our rims, and we also don't want them too high up on our tire. So I like to make sure the chains are about centered on the tire. Make sure everything's going to be easy to grab on either side. And after that, I'll come underneath and hook it up from the back. You're going to come up behind here and just grab this chain on this side. And we're going to hook it with this other part of the chain here. And I'm going to put it on our second link. I've already tested this chain out, so I know that's going to be a good fit for us, but you might have to adjust for your tire size too. Like so. Now we can come up to the front of the tire and lock it down from there. And to make the connection on the front side, we're just going to take one of these links and this lever here, kind of pull them together, And instead of hooking it on at this point, we're actually going to push this whole piece through the center of this link, like so. And I'm just going to push it down all the way through and pull it back and hook it onto this link. And if it still feels a little bit loose, then you can just go one more link in. And with the chains installed, we can take our rubber tensioner. Just make sure it doesn't kind of loosen up as you drive. You can get one from our website. And when you're placing them on your tire, just make sure the hook is facing away so it doesn't damage your tire at all. And when placing them on your tire, make sure everything's well dispersed so it can keep everything nice and tight. And once you complete this process, you can do the same thing on the other side. And after when you've installed it on the other side, I'd recommend just kind of backing up or pulling forward some. Just make sure everything's nice and tight and looks good. And after that, you can take it for a ride. And that was just a look at the installation and some of the specifications of the Titan Chain snow tire chains with VBar links on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz.